Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So, evidently the next champion for Malcolms of Champions has been revealed. It is most certainly not April Fool's joke because today is not the 1st of April. This is more than definitively a real champion, and we are absolutely gonna get him next month. Right? Kabam would not mess or lie to us. So let's read what he's about. Once a mere mortal man, Lester Word overcame trials both large and inconvenient to become the mere mortal man. Dr. Bong, a supervillain without parallel. Dr. Bong is also a super genius with advanced knowledge of genetic engineering, whether protecting his Bong quintuplets, 5 miniature clones of himself, or striving to obtain untold powers via his cosmic Bong. Dr. Bong's adventures always end with him on top, or they would if not for those meddling do-gooders like Howard the Duck. So his stats are obviously hidden, which makes sense because he's an evil super genius villain. Survivability B for Bong, damage B plus for Bong plus, ease of use B plus for Bong plus, utility B, defender strength B. Alright, fair enough. Dr. Bong's mechanics. Big bald Bong. The powers of Dr. Bong are as potent as they are prolific, making use of his proprietary Bong-based technologic wizardry and his own innate physical perfection. Dr. Bong excels at bashing his head into his foes, building ambient reverberations with repeated special attacks and increases the devastating power of his heavy attacks. But beware, much like Icarus flying too close or directly into the sun, the more reverbs Dr. Bong builds, the harder it will be for even his genius to maintain each overwhelming brilliance. So he's a skill class, which sounds great. Have skill gem to use. Nullify immunity, purify, guaranteed critical hits, reverb, and panic. So ability is always active. Dr. Bong has decided the power snack is inconvenient. He's immune to nullify and power sting too. Why not? Makes sense for a skilled champion, actually quite adequate. Dr. Bong has decided to stand your ground mastery is cheating. His heavy attacks are unblockable. Sweet. Standing your ground mastery is dumb as shit. And so far, Dr. Bong seems like a reasonable dude. Dr. Bong's heavy attacks is a headbutt with unparalleled bonus aura, and him being unblockable makes it even more unblockable than heavy attacks normally are. Alright, cool. Purify. Dr. Bong has a chance to purify incoming debuffs, increased chance against non-damaging debuffs because that's what science does, but he can't purify stun debuffs because that would be a lot. When Dr. Bong purifies a debuff, he gains +5 combo. Originally intended to be superior class for obvious reasons, Dr. Bong opted to instead be a humble skill champion to ensure he found suitable challenges in the contest. As such, he was logically required to have a Purify. Purifies also grant him combo, setting up wombos, which we'll discuss later in the kit. Guaranteed critical hits. After Dr. Bong's combo meter reaches multiple of 5, he gains an indefinite guaranteed critical passive. When Dr. Bong critically hits, he loses 1 guaranteed critical hit passive. So he doesn't really have guaranteed critical hits. But okay. Now it's later in the kit. We'll discuss those wombos building grants guaranteed critical passives, which are passives that make criticals guaranteed. This is useful because critical hits deal a bunch of damage. Alright. Damage is the best form of utility. Kind of. Damage is the base of it all. Activating a special attack grants Dr. Bong a really quite large heavy proficiency buff for 30 seconds. Dr. Bong bongs his bell 3 times in each special attack. Each bong grants him a reverb buff per level of the special. When the heavy proficiency ends, all reverbs are removed. Fair enough. Special attack 1. A bell is no bell till you bong it. Inflict a panic debuff for 20 seconds. Makes sense. People on the devil's lettuce often do get paranoid. So that's kind of fitting the theme here. If you have enough reverbs, the final hit inflicts stun debuff that lasts long enough for 1 big heavy attack. Fair enough. Special attack 2, bong me up. Each of those very skillfully executed hits grants Dr. Bong +5 additional combo meter. If you have enough reverbs, the final hit inflicts stun debuff where you can heavy attack. And special 3, ballistographic oscillating Newtonian gigahertz, Bong. Build a Bong buff. A buff that boosts Bong's base Bongs by B, where B's Bong's base buff breath. Bong buffs benefit from boosted buff buildups. How much would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood, right? Final hit inflicts stun debuff that lasts long enough for 3 big heavy attacks. I have just boost exists in this might activate the stun loop. Alright, 3 big heavy attacks. As pinnacle doctors are, the Bong buff is sure to become a defining staple of the contest's diverse RPG landscape. The description is self-explanatory, so okay. Signature ability. Ask not for whom the Bong tolls. When Dr. Bong would be struck by a combo-ending attack, he executes a reversal. Dr. Bong's heavy proficiency buff gains increased potency. Sounds like a decently good champion. Hey, sure. Definitely better than Blue Marvel. So, you know, if by any chance, if by off chance, this is a joke, can we swap him for like Blue Marvel or something? Like, you know, I wouldn't mind. I'd rather have this, you know. we would need more numbers, but still. We also have synergy bonuses that we have to go through though. So, Bong turn rivalry with Howard the Duck. Start with the Bong buff, Howard the Duck. Howard's button masher extraordinary ability becomes Bong tone masher extraordinary. It's the exact same ability except better. Why the Bong face with better Bill? Or Sarah Jessica Parker. Dr. Bong start with the Bong buff. Better Bill. Bill's unstoppable buff becomes unstoppable buff, which is the exact same except better. Angel's armor break debuffs become armor Bong debuffs. They're the exact same debuffs except better. Bongers with Bong. Oh. Bong's Bastion of Balthrak Eldritch spell becomes Bongstian of Balthrak. Of course. Titania. Titania is the built-a debuff becomes the Bonginate debuff. Okay, so this stopped being funny. Force synergies in. But okay. Yeah, so we have the Dr. Bong. What do you guys think? So far, I actually think he could have a chance of being like top 3 2026 champion. We know obviously, shockingly, I'm gonna break to you. He's obviously an April Fool's joke. However, unless his numbers are absolute trash, I think it kind of tells you a lot that he would still be much better than half the champions released this year. So, take it for what you will. I always do look forward to these April Fool's champs, though. I do like them. Anyways, let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys soon. Bye-bye. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So, we have all the information